They've told you to be quiet, to be small, to stay in line. But let me tell you something. You were never born to shrink. You were born to rise, to rule, to redefine what power looks like. So if you're a woman listening to this right now, stop scrolling. Because this, right here, is what you need to know. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now, they've told you to be quiet, to stay small, to fit into a box that someone else created. But what if I told you that this was never the plan for you? What if I told you that you were born to break free from those chains, to walk into the world with confidence, and to take your place at the table, without hesitation or apology? The truth is, you were never born to shrink. You were born to rise, to command respect, to leave a mark on this world that cannot be erased. Too often, society conditions women to be palatable, to smile even when we're hurting, to apologize even when we've done nothing wrong. We're taught to make ourselves small so others can feel comfortable, but that comfort comes at a cost, our own power. We become so focused on pleasing others that we forget one simple truth. Your value was never meant to be contingent on anyone else's approval. Your worth doesn't fluctuate based on how much someone else likes you. It stands tall, rooted in the fact that you are enough, just as you are. If others can't see that, it's time for you to stop trying to prove it to them. They are not the ones who will determine your success. Respect doesn't come from being agreeable. It doesn't come from constantly saying yes to keep the peace or putting everyone else's needs before yours. It comes from setting boundaries that are unbreakable, from standing tall in the face of criticism, and from refusing to apologize for being who you are. It's about saying no without fear of disappointing someone, knowing that your needs, your desires, your voice, they matter. When you stop shrinking yourself to fit into other people's expectations, you begin to step into your true power. You stop asking for permission to take up space and start demanding it. It's something you have to claim for yourself. It's something you demand with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth. So stop second-guessing yourself. Stop looking for validation in places that will never give it to you. Stop hiding. You were born to be seen. And when you stand in your truth, unapologetically, the world will respond. Not with judgment, but with respect. Not because you've asked for it, but because you've earned it by refusing to dim your light. In a world where women are often told to play nice, to be soft, and to tone it down, we must learn that playing small does not serve us. We are not here to be liked. We are here to be respected. The moment you stop trying to please everyone around you is the moment you begin to realize your own worth. When you stop shrinking for others, you give yourself the freedom to thrive on your own terms. And the beauty of that is, when you start living your truth, your real power begins to radiate. You stop begging for others to notice you, and you start commanding their attention, not with desperation, but with the undeniable force of someone who knows their value. You have a voice that is unlike any other, and it deserves to be heard. It's time to stop hiding behind the idea that being quiet and agreeable will somehow make you more lovable. It won't. It will only leave you feeling unseen and unheard. Your silence is not your virtue, it's your cage. And you were never meant to be caged. So speak up, own your story. Demand your space in the world. Because once you do, you'll discover that respect isn't something you have to fight for. It's something you command simply by being yourself. You are not too much. You are not too loud. You are not too ambitious. You are not too bold. And you are certainly not too powerful. So stop shrinking. Stop apologizing. Stop dimming your light. The world has room for all of you, the loud, the bold, the unapologetic, the powerful woman that you were born to be. It's time to stand tall. For too long, society has defined a woman's worth by her relationship status. Messages we've received, from magazines to movies to social media, paint a picture of fulfillment that hinges on finding someone else to complete us. Finding someone else to complete us. We're told that without a partner, something is missing, that a woman's true value is only recognized once she's in a relationship. But this narrative is not just flawed, it's dangerous. The truth is, your worth is not defined by the presence of another person in your life. You are already whole, already complete, and the world needs you to realize that before anything else. Being single does not mean you're incomplete. It doesn't mean you're waiting for your life to begin. It means that you're choosing to live on your own terms without depending on someone else to give you the validation, the purpose, or the happiness you deserve. We've been conditioned to think that being in a relationship is the ultimate goal, but that only makes sense if we believe that we, as women, are somehow less valuable when we're not partnered. But the reality is, being single gives you the opportunity to discover who you truly are, to chase your dreams without compromise, and to build a life that is yours alone. You don't need another person to validate your existence because you are already enough. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that your relationship status determines your happiness. The moment we start measuring our lives by whether or not we are partnered, we lose sight of what truly matters. Think about it. If your sense of self-worth comes from being in a relationship, then what happens when that relationship ends or changes? Your happiness cannot be conditional. It can't hinge on the presence of someone else. The world teaches us to believe that the right partner will complete us, but no one can fill the void of your own unfulfilled potential. You are not incomplete because you're not with someone. You are a whole being capable of creating your own joy, building your own future, and crafting your own legacy. There's a myth that a woman needs to be in a relationship to feel valued, to feel important. But let's challenge that myth for a moment. What if you could be loved deeply by yourself? What if you could prioritize your own needs, your own desires, your own happiness, and show up for yourself the way you wish someone else would? Loving yourself, first and foremost, allows you to live a life where you're not waiting for someone to complete you. So, you build the foundation for your happiness on your own, so that when a relationship comes into your life, it is an addition to the life you've already built, not the thing that defines it. When we talk about relationships, we need to remember that the most important relationship in your life is the one you have with yourself. When you value yourself, you stop settling for situations that don't serve you. You stop looking to be saved, and instead, you become your own hero. You don't need someone else to tell you that you're worthy because you already know it. You know it in the way you care for yourself, the way you demand respect from others, and the way you walk through life with your head held high. Relationships can bring joy, but they should never define your worth. The truth is, you are not someone's other half. You are not waiting for someone to come along and make you feel complete. You are already complete. Your life is already full of potential, full of opportunity, full of power, and you don't need anyone's permission to pursue it. Relationships can be beautiful, but they should never be your only source of fulfillment. When you embrace your own independence, you open the door for relationships that add value to your life rather than dictate it. And that is when you know you're truly ready. Not for someone else to complete you, but for someone to join you on the journey of life. Equally whole and equally whole and equally whole and equally powerful. Remember, your worth is not defined by your relationship status. You don't need to be in a partnership to be valuable, to be loved, to be successful. You are enough on your own. And it's time to embrace that truth fully. The moment you do, you'll see the world shift. You'll see relationships begin to transform from sources of validation to sources of partnership. And that is when you truly begin to understand the power of being a whole, independent, and unapologetically strong woman. For too long, women have been taught to be silent, to hold back their opinions, to play it safe. We've been conditioned to believe that our voices are too loud, too bold, too much. But the truth is, your voice is your power. It's your weapon, your shield, your key to unlocking doors that others thought were closed. When you speak, you claim your space in the world. You make it clear that you will not be overlooked, that your presence is not only known, but celebrated. The world has a funny way of making women believe that being quiet, being soft, being passive is somehow a virtue. But let me tell you something. Silence is not strength. Silence is submission. When you keep quiet, when you hold back your thoughts and your emotions, you give up your ability to change anything. Think about the women throughout history who shaped the world. None of them did so by staying silent. They spoke up loudly and clearly and changed the course of history because they dared to use their voices. So why do we, in the face of adversity, still shrink? Why do we let fear keep us from expressing what we know is right? Every time you withhold your voice, you are doing a disservice to yourself and to the world around you. Your words have weight. They have the ability to inspire, to challenge, to uplift, to heal, and to spark change. When you speak your truth, you give others the permission to do the same. Your courage to speak out becomes the catalyst for someone else's bravery. You open paths that others thought were impassable. Your voice is the most powerful tool you will ever own. Oh, The world is waiting for you to use it. Yes. But using your voice isn't just about shouting from the rooftops or being the loudest person in the room. It's about owning your truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. It's about standing firm in what you believe and speaking with the certainty of someone who knows their worth. Too often, women are told to tone it down, to be more agreeable, to soften their words. But softness doesn't command respect. Boldness does. When you speak with the confidence of someone who knows their value, people will listen. And the more you speak, the more you will see how the world begins to respond. Not with resistance, but with respect. You must understand that your voice doesn't just exist for the benefit of others. It is a tool for your own empowerment. When you speak, you claim your own power. You reclaim your right to be heard, to be seen, and to be respected. Every time you allow yourself to be silenced, you are giving away your personal power. But when you open your mouth, when you stand firm in what you have to say, you become an unstoppable force. Your voice is your right. Don't ever let anyone take that away from you. Don't ever let the world tell you that you don't have a say in the direction of your own life. The beauty of using your voice is that it doesn't just change your world. It changes the world around you. Changes the world around you. When you speak your truth, you inspire other women to do the same. You create a ripple effect that spreads far beyond you. You become part of a movement that empowers not just yourself, but others. Every time you speak out, every time you express your thoughts, you contribute to a global chorus of women demanding equality, respect, and opportunity. You become part of a legacy that says, "We will not be silent." Your voice matters, and in using it, you are part of something far greater than yourself. We live in a world that often tells women to be quiet, to hold back, to fit into predefined molds. But the time has come for us to break free of those chains. It's time to use our voices loudly, proudly, unapologetically. It's time to let the world know that we have something valuable to say and we will not be silenced. Your voice is a gift. It's a tool for your freedom, your empowerment, and your success. And the world is waiting for you to speak up. For too long, women have been told that ambition is something to be ashamed of. We've been conditioned to think that our desires for success, wealth, and power are somehow unnatural or even selfish. We are told that wanting more than what we already have is greedy, that aiming for greatness is a flaw. But let me make this crystal clear. There is nothing wrong with ambition. In fact, it is one of the most powerful forces you can harness. Your ambition is not a weakness. It is a reflection of your inner drive to be more and to create more. You are not meant to play small. You were born to take up space in this world and to make your mark. When you deny your own ambition, you are denying the very essence of who you are. Women have been historically discouraged from dreaming big because society has always placed limits on our potential. But these limits were never meant to define us. You are capable of achieving the extraordinary. The only thing standing in your way is the belief that your dreams are too big, too bold, to impossible. Let go of that doubt, because the only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. You were born to break those limits and to shatter any glass ceilings that stand in your way. Your ambition is your fuel. Let it propel you forward. But ambition isn't just about striving for wealth or power. It's about fulfilling your highest potential. It's about setting goals that challenge you, that push you outside of your comfort zone, and that require you to evolve into the best version of yourself. Ambition drives growth, and growth is what creates true fulfillment. When you pursue your goals, you're not just chasing success. You're discovering what you're capable of, unlocking talents you never knew you had, and becoming someone who not only achieves, but exceeds expectations. Ambition is your invitation to become a force of nature in this world, to show others what's possible when you refuse to settle. It's time we stop apologizing for being ambitious, for desiring more, for wanting to achieve greatness. And ambition is not something to shrink away from or downplay. The world has told women for centuries that our desires for success are too loud, too bold, too much. But here's the truth. Ambition doesn't make you too much. It makes you unstoppable. The world needs ambitious women now more than ever. We need women who refuse to be content with mediocrity, women who set their sights high and then climb even higher. Your ambition is not a burden, it's a gift. It's a sign that you are meant for something great, that you have something valuable to offer the world. And here's another truth. When you embrace your ambition, you give permission to other women to do the same. Every woman who dares to dream big, who chooses to fight for her goals, who walks into a room and claims her power, creates a ripple effect. The women around her begin to see what's possible. They begin to believe that they, too, can break free from the shackles of limitation and carve their own paths to success. Your ambition inspires others. It creates a movement of empowered women who are all rising together, who are all claiming the space they deserve. When one woman rises, we all rise. Your success becomes a for other beacon, for other beacon, for other beacon, for others 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 a beacon for others to follow, 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 a beacon for others to follow. It's time to reject the narrative that tells us to be less. The world needs more women who are willing to step into their power, who are willing to be bold, loud, and unapologetic. And the only way to do that is to stop shrinking for anyone. Stop apologizing for your existence, for your dreams, for your voice. Stop pretending to be smaller than you are. The more you embrace your full, powerful self, the more others will follow suit. You are not an exception to the rule. You are the living proof that we can change the game by standing tall and taking up the space that's rightfully ours. The truth is, when you stop shrinking, the world opens up to you in ways you never imagined. You begin to see opportunities where you once saw barriers. You begin to take action on your dreams without second guessing yourself. You begin to walk through the world with the quiet knowledge that you belong, that you have earned your place, and that you are worthy of every ounce of success and happiness that comes your way. Don't let anyone tell you that your presence is too much. Your presence is exactly what this world needs. Stand in it, own it, and let it transform your life. You are not here by accident. You are not a coincidence in the grand design of the universe. Every single thing that has brought you to this point, the challenges, the victories, the lessons, has been a part of a plan much bigger than you can see right now. You were born for greatness. The universe didn't make a mistake when it brought you into existence. You are here for a reason, and that reason is to leave a mark on this world that no one can erase. Every part of your journey, no matter how difficult, has been preparing you for the extraordinary life you're meant to lead. Never doubt that you are capable of achieving things far beyond what you've imagined. The truth is, no one gets to define your potential except you. Society will try to put labels on you, limit your dreams, and tell you what is possible based on what they've seen before. But your potential is infinite. It is not bound by what's been done or what others think is achievable. You get to decide how high you aim, how far you push, and how hard you fight for the life you want. The moment you stop letting others place limitations on you is the moment you will break free and begin to rise. Your potential is limitless. No one else knows the depths of your capability, and no one else can dictate what you're capable of achieving. Only you hold that power. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others. We see someone else's success and wonder why we haven't reached that level, why we haven't accomplished the things they've accomplished. But the reality is, your journey is uniquely yours. Your path is not going to look like anyone else's, and that is where your strength lies. The world is built by people who dared to take the road less traveled, who followed their own instincts, and who refused to conform to the expectations placed upon them. So stop measuring your worth by someone else's milestones. Mm, you are on your own journey, and it is leading you exactly where you need to go. Trust that the process, even when it seems slow, is preparing you for something bigger than you can currently comprehend. Too often, we get caught up in the fear of failure. We worry about what might happen if we take a leap of faith, if we risk it all and fall short. But here's the secret: failure is not the end, it is a stepping stone. Every failure, every setback is a lesson in disguise. Is a lesson in disguise. It is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become better. Success is built on the foundation of failure. Those who never fail are the ones who never try. So don't let the fear of failure stop you. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it as fuel to keep moving forward. Every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. We live in a world that constantly tells us we are not enough, that we need to be thinner, prettier, smarter, more successful. We told that we have to prove ourselves at every turn, that we are not valuable unless we meet someone else's standards. Here's the truth: you are enough, exactly as you are. Oh, you don't need to change yourself to fit into someone else's box or to meet their expectations. You are worthy of everything you desire, not because of what you look like, how much money you make, or how many people approve of you, but because you are a human being with an innate right to live fully, freely, and unapologetically. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you are enough. You've always been enough. When you begin to believe in your worth, when you begin to stand tall in your value, the world changes. The moment you recognize your own worth is the moment you stop settling for less. You stop accepting the things that aren't aligned with your goals, your values, or your vision for your life. You stop compromising your dreams to appease others. You stop apologizing for wanting more. The world will test you. It will challenge you. But the more you embrace your worth, the more you will attract the people, opportunities, and experiences that reflect that belief in yourself. And the more you own that, the more your life will shift to reflect it. We all face moments of doubt, moments when the world feels heavy and the road ahead seems impossible. But the truth is, you are stronger than you realize. Every challenge you faced, every moment you've wanted to give up, has made you stronger. You have the ability to overcome anything that comes your way. You have the resilience, the courage, and the wisdom to rise from every setback, every heartbreak, and every obstacle. You have been prepared for this moment, for this life, for this greatness. The strength that you need to push through the hardest times is already inside of you. You were built for this. You are stronger than any challenge, any doubt, and any fear. Keep going. Now take a moment to realize that you are unstoppable. You have everything you need within you: the strength, the wisdom, the courage, and the vision to create the life you deserve. The world may try to hold you back, but your spirit is unbreakable. You are not just here to exist. You are here to thrive, to rise, and to leave a legacy that will inspire generations to come. The road ahead may not always be easy, but remember, you are stronger than any obstacle, more powerful than any doubt, and capable of achieving more than you can imagine. Trust yourself. Keep going. The best is yet to come. Your greatness is not a distant dream. It's a reality waiting to unfold. Keep stepping into your power because the world is ready for you to shine. And when you do, there will be no stopping you.